if I have a project coming on and I need a song, and suddenly I'm on a bus and I hear something, I'll grab my phone, even if it's even voice memo or a video recorder. It'll just be a blank screen and I'll sing it to it. And then I'll take it home and try to stretch it from there. For me, let's say when it comes to songwriting, the way I write is I'll get on the piano, I'll write a melody. If I can remember it without writing it down, then for me it's catchy enough to be remembered, and it has a strong enough hook. That's usually my gauge of whether or not I want a song to proceed, or a melody to proceed into a full-blown song. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool story. I, growing up, listened to everything from 80s music to 90s music. Musical theater kicked in the 8th grade. I remember watching a choir concert and they sang songs from Les Miserables. And I was fascinated with the storytelling and how deep, how beautifully combined lyrics and music were to tell a story. And not just any story, it's a theater song goes from a starting point, arcs, and has an ending. So there's a full story in just one song. So it's not just 3 minutes of somebody saying, I love you, but it's 3 minutes of, I love you, but this, and our journey is this, and it goes like that. And I was always fascinated with that kind of storytelling. That sort of began my passion for telling a story through music, and I've been listening to it ever since. In the country, in the Philippines, I think my biggest musical influence would be obviously Brackenghe. I think he has a great way of telling a story through music, which I really appreciate. And abroad, it would be Alan Menken. Alan Menken, who wrote a lot of the Disney classics, a lot of great musicals for stage. Alan Menken, Robert Lopez, who wrote Let It Go, the mega hit of the century. Those two would probably be my biggest influences to make songs melodic and tell a great story. Book of Mormon. If there's any show I wish I'd written, it would be Book of Mormon. I think it's genius when you can create songs that are incredibly funny and yet incredibly poignant and relevant, and the show does a good job at doing that, where it takes you on a lot of laughter, but at the heart of it, there's still a story, there's still characters that you care about, that you believe, that you want to succeed in all of that humor and all of that funniness. And I love the lyrics, they're genius, and the music is incredibly palatable. I mean, it's easy to fall in love with each song. And if you know the material that it's based on, you see how well it does the parody. It's the happiest place on earth. It's been 12 years of creating music for a park, and I remember when I first started, it takes a lot to sort of learn what the music of Disney is like. And although I've been listening to it all my life, writing a song for a Disney park is very different. And I remember staying out one time because we were working on something, and all I can think of is one day I'm going to hear my own song on those speakers. And it finally happened. Like, I wrote the Halloween song in 2007, and I wasn't even sure I could sell it to the director. It's like, hey, I have a song in mind, and can we use this for a parade? And he said, yeah, sure, let's try it out. And through a lot of different versions, it finally became the Halloween song. And I always remember sort of standing out there, because we all do our sound checks after the park is closed, but like 2 o'clock in the morning, listening to it, going, hey, that's my song. And that was cool enough in an empty park, but to sort of see guests react to it, nothing is cooler than watching guests laughing or sort of grooving along to something you wrote, and they will never know you wrote it, but it's still an incredible feeling, and it'll end up on YouTube, and it'll end up in someone's recorder, and people remember that. That's been the coolest part of the experience, I guess, is writing songs that create happy memories. Because that's kind of what Disneyland is. It's in the business of making great memories, and to be able to do that through music has been the coolest thing. Let's say writing for Hong Kong Disneyland, for example, writing a Disney song, it's got to have a strong hook. hook. It's got to be memorable. It's got to be catchy. It's got to be a lot of things. It's got to be current. So all of those things run in your head, and it's hard sometimes trying to write to be current. Most people just write and enjoy it and say what's on their mind, but to sort of think, okay, what is the current sound? What do kids listen to today? Very often I'll go to the top 40 hits, and I'm 40 years old, so it's kind of like a lot of the songs today, not everything I get, and not everything will be important in a Disney park. So that's very different from, let's say, writing for a friend's wedding, or writing a song for a character in a show, where you have more freedom and nobody will comment, oh, that melody isn't melodic, because the point is, does it tell the story more than anything